I shouted to Robert to call 999. I ran into the barn. It was full of smoke. Hot smoke. I could hardly breathe. At first I couldn't see. And I thought, my God, I don't know where she is. And I must have wasted, I don't know, seconds, a minute, just looking around trying to find her. It's a big place, that barn. Then I saw her up in the hayloft. She was already unconscious. Maybe she was... She could already have been dead. I called out to her, but she didn't... There was just no way I could get up to her. You know, the ladder had collapsed, the hay was up in flames, the whole frame was starting to burn like crazy. I couldn't do anything. I could feel my skin burning. I thought I was going to pass out. You know, I had to get out. I had to get out. I don't know what else I could have done. I mean, maybe I should have. I don't know. So I ran out of the barn and left. I had to leave her.
Thank you, Mr. Sugden. No further questions, my lord.
Do you consider yourself to be a violent man, Mr. Sugden?
No.
I could kill you, I could kill the pair of you. That sounds pretty violent to me.
I've told you. I was angry. I lost control. It wasn't a literal threat.
So you had no real intention of killing Mr. Carter?
Of course not.
Did you want to hurt him physically?
No.
You've said you were angry. Angry enough to want to shake some sense into your wife.
But that was all. I didn't want to waste my time thinking about Richie Carter.
Not even to take some of that anger out on him? Surely you blamed him for the destruction of your family?
Yes. Yes, of course I blamed him. But look at me. I'm in court, accused of something I did not do, separated from my children. This is the last thing I wanted to happen. So, no, I did not want to get into any kind of fight with Richie Carter.
You're telling this court that at no time did you intend to physically harm Mr. Carter in any way, yes?
Yes, that's right.
And yet on the 21st of November of last year, 5 days after the fire, did you not attempt to strangle Richard Carter in Hotten General Hospital and threaten to kill him once again?
My lord, really? My learned friend knows perfectly well she is referring to something which may or may not have happened after the event.
My lord, this goes directly to the defendant's claim that he had no violent intentions towards Mr. Carter.
I will allow it this time, Miss Browning, but stick to the point, please.
I'm obliged, Mr. Sugden. It's true, isn't it?
Yes. But that was different. I mean, I believed he had murdered Sarah.
Really? Why didn't you tell the police about your suspicions?
Well, I was exhausted. I was still in shock. I...
Lost control?
No! Maybe. I suppose so. Would it be so surprising?
Perhaps you were just trying to finish the job you'd started the week before.
Don't be ridiculous.
When you lost control in the Woolpack public house, was that the first time you'd abused your wife?
Yes. The only time.
Really? Or was it just the first time you've been violent towards her in public?
No.
Well, we'll never know, will we? Because Sarah Sugden is dead. We are relying solely on your assertion.
I suppose so.
Just as we have only your word that the singed gloves, Exhibit G, were burned during an innocent bonfire.
I'm telling the truth.
Just as we have only your word that you were conveniently asleep when the fire started. Just as we have only your word that you couldn't find your wife in time to save her life. That you didn't go into the barn to make sure she never came out.
Yes, that's right. You do only have my word for it. But I'm telling you the truth. It's the only thing I can do.
I put it to you that your assertions are at best the common display of a violent abuser's self-deception. At worst, they are a willful attempt to deceive this court.
I'm not deceiving anyone.
But you have no other way of corroborating your story, have you, Mr. Sugden? Have you, Mr. Sugden?